back in. Hey guys, welcome back to another very, very exciting episode of Digibros!
Scoops.
We're having fun, we're having a good time. We got a good, got some discussions, talked about Otakon and shit!
Otakon.
I want to make sure I started the recording again because I just
Because we're paranoid now.
I get paranoid. It's the
Because
last
we just
episode.
freaked ourselves out listening to our own echoes when we were trying to make sure the audio was okay.
Oh man, yes. I'm playing it off, and then like our sound of us now, like the playback we're doing is echoing into the computer to us, and then like we're hearing our own voices over the echo of the playback, and it was just a trip, and so I thought I ruined it, but it's okay. Playing Splatoon.
It was spooky.
All right, level 4. Probably out of 5. I don't know. Maybe there's only 4. I think there were only 4 in the last game.
Fucking rude.
Alright. So, this next topic I was kind of getting on. Earlier today, I went to my mom's house. And, like, I was talking with her because Shade got engaged. And so, that's been a fun conversation topic lately. And we're talking about that, and, like, we're going on about, like, you know, weddings and marriage, and, you know, when are Connor and his girlfriend gonna get married? I bet that, you know, that's a fun goof to think about. I bet, you know, only a matter of time, and then we're talking about, like, you know, me and Hope, and our plans for that, and we're like, you know, we don't plan on doing that anytime soon. And, you know, we're just getting, and that's giving you a context for the line of thought I'm gonna go down right here. But, like, I'm driving home, and I'm thinking about, like, my parents and how, you know, like, I think I'm sure we've talked about it here, but my parents only knew each other for, like, something like 6 weeks or something before they got married. Like, it was not very much time at all. Because my dad was in the Navy, and so, like, he propositioned to my mom, we should get married because the military will pay for you to move to California with me. Because he was getting stationed in California, and they knew that because he only had like 99 days or something that he was left in Virginia, and then he was going to San Francisco to be stationed or something, or Ellis Island or something. I don't know. He was somewhere around California. I don't remember what it was. Some kind of island. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. That doesn't matter. But the point is, he was gonna get stationed somewhere, so he was like, "You should marry me." In the military, literally, she said they pay you like $800 a week just like because you're married. Like they just give you money. So like that was the plan. Was that they could basically get free money if they're married, and she'll be taken care of. And then if they got divorced, like she would take half of his money, and he wouldn't care anyways. And that's how he convinced my mom to marry him after they only knew each other for like 6 weeks or something. And then I was thinking about, like, wow, you know, it's such a trip that they only knew each other for such a limited amount of time. Because me and Hope have known each other for fucking, like, 7 years. And, like, it took us, like, five or 6 years to get together. So we know each other completely. Like, we completely knew each other's entire lives before we were ever even, like, a couple.
Yeah.
And then, like, Conrad's kind of had a similar thing to my parents, where he's like, you know, he's got a girlfriend now he's moved in with after only knowing her for a little while. And then I was thinking about the fact that my parents had Conrad when they'd only really been married, like, 2 years. And, like, so they'd only known each other a few weeks. They've been married, like, 2 years, and then they're having a kid. And then I'm thinking about the fact that me and you have been together for 2 years now.
Right.
Think about the facts. Like, think about how long we've been together and what we've done and what it's been like. And then think about the fact that they had a kid in that amount of time.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane.
In really less than that amount of time. Because
like,
we spent a bunch of years dilly-dallying.
Yeah. And so my entire childhood, I've known that. I've known how long they've been together and how long they were together before they had kids and stuff. But, like, I never had a context for why that's, like, different and interesting. But now I'm like, just thinking about that and how fast that was and how overwhelming it must have been, and like they must have had no time to think, you know?
Yeah.
Like they just got married and now they're already having kids, and then like life fucking just went. And then I think about like all the problems my parents had in their relationship as we were growing up and stuff, and it's like, holy shit. Like, they barely knew each other when they got married. They barely knew each other when, like, me and you had 6 years of context before 2 years of knowing each other, you know? Like, we thoroughly knew each other. It's fucking crazy. Like, I would have been, like, 4 years old by the time they knew each other as long as we've known each other, you know?
Yeah.
Like, think about how fast that was. And then I'm just thinking about, like, of course they had relationship problems when I was, like, a little kid, you know?
Right,
like,
because you're
how
still
could
sorting.
I couldn't possibly blame them for any of that. Because, like, they rushed into that part of their life. And, like, it must have happened so fast that they didn't even know what the fuck they were doing. There was no plan. It was all impulsive, you know? But it's... I always kind of knew that, but now I really have a context for it because I'm an adult. And, like, I am as old as my dad was when he got married, you know?
Right.
And I think about just, like, how I am and the fact that, like, they were not, you know, completely emotionally developed people. Like, they were not responsible at all in going into a relationship at that point. It's just like, holy shit! My parents have been through so much, and then they never stopped. Like... They got to this point in their life, and their life completely changed, and there was no going back. It's a trip to think about. Like, God, they were so young!
Yeah, I mean, they were. I guess I don't know if it's just the nature of the way things were back then. Like, maybe the climate that everyone grew up in was different, and it was just normal to do that. Because, you know, it used to be that you got married really young.
Because my mom was like, you're crazy, you know, when my dad wanted her to get married after such little time, you know?
Oh, so she actually wasn't all about it.
She wasn't about it until he explained that the military would pay for her to move to California. Like, that's why she went, and she was just like, fuck it, you know? Like, she liked him and everything. So, she bought into his plan. She wasn't like, oh, let's get married because my mom's not stupid, you know?
Yeah.
She's very reasonable, and she had a ton of relationships before that. She's not an idiot.
Right.
But she just gave it a shot, and then it just kind of, you know, it stuck. They loved each other, and so they had a kid. But, like, it all happened extremely fast.
Right.
And it's just, it's a trip. How old were your parents? What's their relationship story?
I don't actually really know.
You don't know how old they were? Like, generally? How old are they now?
Wait, hang on, no. I generally know. It takes me a minute to think about it.
Yeah.
Because I think they got married when they were... Let's see. I'm 25, and my mom is 52. So, yeah, I think they got married when they were 22 or 23, because it was 2 or 3 years before they had me.
So, yeah, similar. How long were they together before they got married, though? Probably not super long.
Not super long, because it clearly wasn't high school, and my dad was already out of college, I think.
God. It's probably the same for everyone's parents. They weren't together very long before having kids, you know? But it's just like, God, it's fucking crazy. I can't imagine it. I would never want that.
I think it's just a difference
life.
in the way, it's got to be a difference in the way that, like, we were raised from how they were raised.
And I think that generation had to grow up faster, you know? Like, they were all forced out early, and they all had shitty parents, and they were less of an emotionally sharing generation, you know? So, like, to them, it was like, well, this is what you do.
It was like, you need to be an adult, and you need to go out and do your adult life.
You're supposed to have kids, you know, at this age and stuff. Like 23... To most people, it's probably a normal age to have kids from their generation, but to us, it's like, fuck, dude, I'm a fucking child.
Yeah, it's like no, I'm
That's
a child.
Crazy. Like, being 23 makes me realize how fucking young that is. like, I guess your whole life you kind of think that your early 20s makes
Is
you
like
an
an
adult, but
adult
it's like,
stage.
no, I'm not
It's
done,
weird.
man. Not at least till 25.
It's really
like, I
weird.
strongly believe in the you're done developing at 25 shit. But even, like, I am not responsible enough to have a kid.
No.
Maybe if you have some kind of career where, like, you get
Yeah.
well situated in time, but, like, none of our parents were well off when they had kids.
And yet somehow they still managed
Yeah,
it.
they just had to fucking figure it out.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess that's that whole like school hard knocks kind of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas I think for a lot of us, our parents didn't want us to learn that way.
Yeah.
They wanted us to like learn from what they did and do things differently, and that's part of how, you know, it's
That's
like
certainly what
now
my
people
parents
feel
are
like
about.
23
Oh my God.
are still young adults and
Yeah.
not like ready to have kids and stuff,
We're the new
because
teenagers.
we've gone the complete opposite route of our parents and being like, I'm not an adult, don't try to force this on me.
Exactly. It's like, I'm not ready for this shit.
Yeah, I think that's got to be part of it, because that's always what my mom has expressed to me, is that she doesn't want me to, you know, have to go through the same things that she went through.
Yeah.
So I do feel like that's got to be a part of it, is our parents have
Yeah.
tried to make a way for us to not have to experience that same
It's
kind of
like-
hardship.
It's no wonder that their generation has so much, like, divorce and shit, you know? Because
Yeah.
everyone got married so young. Like, it trips me out.
I think just the perception of that has changed, though. I think, you know,
Yeah.
back then that wasn't so young.
Oh, it's a trip. Well, because, like, the perception of divorce has changed, too. Where, like, divorce as a popular thing to be done is pretty new. And
Yeah,
so,
it
like,
used to be really taboo.
and so those people aren't realizing that their parents just kind of dealt with it and hated each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like a long train of shit changing. Hopefully our generation learns from the past and, like, just gets together later, you know? Forms deeper relationships before, like, jumping headfirst into stuff you can't, like, figure out. I don't know, man.
I don't know. I think part of it also comes from
But then
having
Shade might
an
have
impulsive
a
nature.
fucking kid at 22,
Yeah,
so
who knows?
if he's getting married now at 19, then he'll definitely have a kid by the time he's fucking 22. And it's like, oh my god, how? No!
That's why I get really freaked out when I see like acquaintances or friends who are my age who are married having kids. And I'm like, y'all are like
I was already
24
tripped
and
out by people in
25.
college getting married.
You
I'm
need
just like,
to
what
chill.
are you doing? Stop it. Ah!
It's a
Why
little
do you
too
need to
much.
rush through life? Just take your time. I don't know. Maybe if you have your kids sooner, you get out of it sooner. You know, you're younger when they're 20.
I mean,
Like, if you have a kid at 20, then when you're 40, you know, they're gonna be 20. You're not gonna have you're still gonna be young and have a bunch of time.
but I feel like the problem with that is then like
Mm.
your 20s are tied down to
Exactly.
taking care of this human.
Ugh. Ugh.
Not that that's, you know, I
mean,
don't
if
want that at all, period.
that floats
but,
your boat, then go for it. We are not about that life. We will be children forever.
Yeah, I'm a child. I don't need to have children.
I don't know that I was put on this earth for that purpose.
That's the other
If you
thing
want to get into destiny, you know.
that you catch a lot of flack for is not wanting to have kids.
Yeah. As a guy, I don't think you get as much. I
As
don't
a
know.
girl, you
or
get
maybe
a
my,
lot
my
of
parents
fucking
just didn't
flack
care as
for
much.
it. Because from the time I was little, I never wanted to have kids. I was literally still a kid, and I was like, I don't want to have kids. And my mom was always the proponent of, you'll change your mind, you'll change your mind. And then I got to be in high school, and she was like, oh, you're serious, okay. And now she has given up, but you
It's
still
still
catch
a
a lot
thing
of
where,
flack.
like, even, like, I generally just avoid saying it, because if you say you don't want to have kids, people always
You're
go,
like,
you
well,
know,
why
it's gonna
not?
change. Oh, it's gonna happen.
You're gonna
you
miss
know?
out on so much.
You're gonna change your mind. Oh, your girlfriend is gonna randomly, like, decide halfway through life that her maternal instinct is gonna kick in. That's what fucking Professor Snape said. I was just like, dude. He was like, oh yeah, I knew this lesbian once, and you know, like, all of a sudden she had like a midlife crisis and just wanted to have kids, and then like went straight and then had kids
Went
and stuff. And I'm
straight.
just like, okay, thank you for that extremely weird scenario. I don't know that that's gonna happen for
Cool,
us.
dude. Sick. But
man.
yeah, I think a lot of times when you tell people or people learn that you don't want to have kids, it's almost like they perceive that you think you're like better than them or too
Yeah,
good to have kids, and so
exactly.
they take it as an insult.
And I'm like, nah,
And it's
no,
like,
we just
no,
don't
dude,
want, like,
it's
we're
just
not
something I
responsible
personally
enough,
don't
and,
want.
like, we don't want that.
It's like, I've never understood why people feel the need to
Want your life
impose
to be
their
like theirs.
their
Yeah.
desires onto you into pressuring you to have kids. It's
Yeah.
like, that's not your life. You're not the one who's gonna have to, actually carry the baby around for 9 months and then like put all the money into it and all the time and lose sleep and send it to college and deal with it when it's being an asshole. Like, you're not gonna have to do any of that. So why is this something that you feel the need to project onto me?
It's kind of like me with, I generally won't talk to most normal people about anything about our relationship because it's so good and so positive and we don't fight or anything.
Because you always get the
yeah.
negative, like, oh, men, or oh, my girlfriend did this, or
exactly. And
my
they
boyfriend
always be
never
like,
helps me with
oh,
anything.
you know, you're gonna have these scenarios, you know. Oh, don't you feel like you're being the naive guy when it's like, no, we just kind of aren't dicks, you know. I don't know why. I don't know what else everyone else is doing wrong, but like we generally aren't at each other's throats all the time.
Right. Well, I mean, that's because generally we're relatively perceptive, and we can tell if something is bothering the other person, and we try to be mindful and like contribute.
Off. And I'm very compromising. Like a lot of people just refuse to like if people are having troubles, it's them like doing something consciously. Like I was talking to one friend about relationship stuff, and then he was like, well, it's usually my fault when I'm in an argument because I don't back down, and he's a stubborn dick about stuff. And I'm like, you see, I just am not that way. Like, I don't have like this weird pride about shit, and and we share our feelings and shit. Like, for me, it doesn't seem that hard. And then I feel like I don't want to fucking jinx something and be like, and act like I'm naive or something. But it's like, we've been together 2 years, and I don't think we've never yelled at each other.
No.
You know? Like, we've never had, like, a fight.
And that, again, all comes back to, I think it's because we both established ourselves really well, and then when we came into the relationship, we made compromises that both of us were like, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is how it's going to be. And we both kind of adopted roles that worked well for us.
Mm-hmm. We hashed out our emotions before we ever got together. And even then, there weren't, like, arguments, you know?
No, it wasn't arguments. It was just,
getting to know each
it was
other.
just, like you said, it's just compromise.
Yeah, compromise.
It's just figuring out, how to deal with each other's emotions.
I don't understand people who can't compromise. Like, it trips me out. Because people get to be so fucking stubborn about themselves, and, like, they have to win. And I'm just like, I don't get it, man. Just fucking let it go. Like, what are you gaining out of, like, needing to win, you know? Like, it's this pride people have about, like, oh, I can't let someone be right, you know, if they're wrong.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you wasting your energy? Why don't you just be happy? Like, why do you gotta... But then we don't even get into, like, those kinds of arguments, you know? And luckily, we're both not fucking idiots about money. Like, that strains a lot of people's relationships.
I think finances are a lot of the times one of the big issues. And right now, just keeping those separated has been a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
Because we both contribute, and we both, pay our share. But then we also have our own separate finances that, we don't fuck with each other's money.
We're just sharing each other's money, and we both work. Now we probably make an equal amount, you know?
Yeah, now we probably do. Because I don't make shit.
So, yeah.
But, I have a lot of friends who are married.
Maybe we'll argue about that when you start making way more money than me.
Well, I've already expressed my motivation for wanting to make more money. You know what that is. You know.
Yeah.
I want to.
Victor, why are you fucking doing it? I'm supporting us. Why are you sitting around playing Splatoon when you should be out getting more work?
You should be out making movies.
Just because I can support us doesn't mean you can sit around on your ass. And I'll be like, but I'm gay.
It's true.
No, that would be like my worst fucking nightmare is not being able to pull my own weight. So I think I'll hold my shit
that's another
together.
thing. Is like, you don't want to be carried and I don't want to be carried.
Exactly.
So neither of us would just let the other person carry us.
I hate that shit. I hate seeing other people pay for their girlfriends. I'm like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah.
This is wrong.
I've never been about
I'm so
that.
glad you like. I'd say probably back in like high school and shit when I thought that was like the right thing for a guy to do. I cared about that, and
But,
now
like,
I'm just
why?
like I'm so fucking grateful for it because I see how much money Shade has to blow on his girlfriend. Ugh.
I've just never understood why that's a thing that
Yeah,
like,
especially if
men
you're both
feel
working.
like
Like, why the fuck are you
they
paying
have to pay?
for the? Yeah,
And it's
pay
like, if
for
you're
your shit
both
separately.
equals,
Like,
why?
you need to be contributing equally, unless like. I don't know. Maybe there could be special conditions. Like, yeah, I don't want to shit on Shade
there are
and
certain
Amber too
situations. I'm
much.
sure, like, if you're a stay-at-home mom and you're not making
Oh,
money,
yeah,
then
for
yeah.
sure. Yeah, if you're raising a
Clearly.
kid, then the shit's completely different. But
But if you're a person who has a job,
yeah,
why are you gonna rely on someone else to pay
and if
for you?
it's really if you're a guy and you can't handle that financial, like if you can't handle it, you shouldn't be paying for someone else.
Right.
You know, like you shouldn't be obligating yourself to do that when you can't afford it. Fucking dude, this is a gauntlet. Oh no, no!
Rip.
Oh my god, this game is actually challenging. Who
A
would've
game
thought?
for children.
Oh, we got on a good tangent there.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just
Shit.
gonna say how my married friends will often have problems, exactly like what
Yeah.
you're talking about, where they'll get into arguments with their husbands about stupid shit. Like one of my friends,
A lot of people are looking for fights too, man.
yeah, her
I don't
husband,
understand that shit.
he does this shit where he just randomly will go out and buy Jeeps and not tell her and just bring them home
What the fuck?
and just
Like a
spend all this
Jeep?
money on Jeeps.
Dude,
And
I mean
she'll
that's
get
something
like,
my
she'll
dad will
start
do.
getting upset
like,
about it, and he'll just like berate her.
Holy shit!
And I'm
no,
like,
that's bad.
dude,
Yeah.
why? Just no, that's not appropriate.
Like my dad's always been an impulse spender, and I think that's what makes me like have such an annoyance with it because like he's always spent too much money on shit, but he's always been the big breadwinner. So it's like
Right,
you
but
can't
your dad
really
makes
say
like hella
anything,
money, so
you
you
know?
can't be like,
Yeah, and you have to always feel like he has a plan, which back in the day definitely was a sole reason why they were fucking fighting all the time. Was that my dad bought a lot of shit impulsively and got us in a lot of debt, you know?
yeah.
And it's like, I never want to be that way.
That was something my mom did. My mom was an
Yeah.
impulsive buyer. She racked up a ton of credit card debt, and that was a big problem with my parents. And that's why I was like, I'm never gonna fuck with credit cards
Exactly.
like that.
That's
never.
why I still don't even have one, because it scares the shit out of me.
Well, I do have them, and I use them
Yeah.
for very specific purposes because I need to have a good credit score.
Yeah. I should have a credit card.
That's
to
the
use it,
only
but
reason.
I just get worried because, like, my money is so unstable sometimes.
Yeah. No,
As
it's
soon
hard.
as I'm making more money, I'll do that and improve
Yeah.
my shit.
Don't fuck with credit
No!
cards. Whoa,
Oof.
kids. Don't do it. It's not free money. Don't
Yeah,
just
it's
spend
not
it.
free
All
money. I
right,
feel
you're
like-
gonna have to pay it back.
I think at this point, our generation has enough of a cultural awareness of it to, like, not get swindled the
Yeah.
same way.
Yeah.
But it is like a college thing. Like, once you get into college, everyone will be fucking hitting you with credit cards. Like, everyone
really
wants
strange.
you.
It's very
Those companies are
predatory,
fucking
really.
yeah, they're predatory. Dude, what the fuck?
Oh.
How the fuck am I supposed to jump off this shit? God damn it. But yeah, that causes a lot of relationship stress for people,
Yeah.
and I'm glad we don't have that stress because we're both fucking reasonable as hell. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. To me, it feels
I
like
think yeah,
it's
just
obvious.
it's just
but,
watching what's around you when you're growing up and trying
Yeah.
not to do the same thing.
What trips me out is people who don't compromise, because I was remembering, like, I've always been a big compromiser. You know, I don't argue. Like, I'm quick to give up. Like, I don't really like force my opinion and my way of doing things. And I remember my Australian friend in college
Yeah.
telling me once where she was just like, she was basically saying I'm a fucking pussy and like that I need to get like a backbone and stop compromising so much, because
Right.
she was like, women don't like it when you compromise. You gotta have balls. And I'm
It's
just
that
like,
whole sometimes
and
girls
that-
want to fight thing. It's
yeah,
really weird.
It trips me out, but there are girls who are like that.
Yeah, there
Like,
are.
there are girls who live by that.
Yeah.
And this was one of those girls, and I'm just like, I can't fucking, why? Why would you want
yeah, why
to
do
be
you
that way?
just
I don't
want
get it.
Strife. You already have strife in your in every day. Why do you want to fight with somebody who you care about?
And I'm so happy with how we are because we're both the same. It's like we come home to cuddle and like be happy. Like I don't want to fucking come home and fight with you. Why would I want to do that? That's dumb.
I guess some people just have that antagonistic streak that they gotta fight. Man. I don't know. I don't get it, but I mean, I've seen plenty of people.
Like turns people on.
I've seen plenty of people do that. Even
is it like something? Is it like a childhood trauma thing? Like you need this in your life. You need that attention. You need someone to. You need to feel like someone's like passionately cares about you in this backwards way.
Yes.
It could be like a repression thing for people who don't express their feelings well enough. You know, where it's like. Someone's not expressing enough emotion towards you, so you want to rile them up and like get them to show something. Like I can understand that.
Because if at that point you feel like, well, if they're willing to get this upset, then they clearly care.
Yeah, you want to feel like they care, and so you want to piss them off. I guess I understand that a little bit. Maybe I felt that way.
I mean, in high school, I could certainly say that I had times where I was like that.
But like as an adult, you're a fucking adult. Stop it! As an adult, that's why are you doing this to yourself?
As an adult,
just express your feelings.
You have enough you have to worry about. You don't. You shouldn't be playing around with that shit.
God, it's just like, I cannot live that way. Boom, got him.
It's hard enough paying the bills.
I did it. I beat this level. I beat him. And I think we're probably good. I think we're probably good to go.
Good to go.
Yeah.
GTG.
Let's see. Let's check our recording progress.
Your squid.
You guys can't see it, but I'm clicking over back to the PC to see how long we've been recording. 26 minutes. That looks like a good place to stop. Thank you guys for joining us on Victor and Hope playing Splatoon 2 story mode.
Victor and Hope mansplaining their relationship. 2017.
Probably, we'll get back to it later. This is probably like a week's worth of episodes. We got some time. But I hope you enjoyed this content.
Hey!
I suppose mostly us getting too riled up.